I haven't done this in a while. I mean by this, I mean a Sejuani game. It's almost a year since our last one. Okay, so runes and masteries. Attack speed red, armory yellow, cooldown reduction blues, and movement speed quints. Masteries are 9, 21. Magic penetration and 21. I mean in 9. The offense tree. So, of course, start off with a leash because, as you're going to see, my sustain's going to suck balls no matter what I do. So, already using one potion, and even with a leash, I almost got my ass killed. Popping another one. Her sustain is one of her biggest issues, both mana-wise and health-wise. So, boy. So, bottom lane, by the way, my Soraka stole their blue just with an E. Just put a ward over it and then just stole it because everybody's starting to get used to, doing the whole smiteless crap that the mid laner sometimes just doesn't protect, just doesn't stay long enough to protect the jungler, and it gets easily stolen. Anyways, as you saw there, an attempt on Pantheon. He's still hanging around, so it's going to become an easier attempt. Dash through the turret, use my E and use my W damage, flash before I die. I live. Pantheon dies. Hooray for a very risky tower gank, tower dive. There we go. So that's Spirit Stone. I'm building a Philosopher's Stone so I can just keep spamming the W. That would be all the regeneration I would possibly ever need. Easy gank on what's his face Kassadin. Is like he already used his flash. Kassadin is like foo to most junglers. So dash in, just activate my W, press E, he's not going anywhere, and Sejuani picks up the easy kill. Alright, so I'm almost level 6. Level 5. I'll be level 6 soon. Once level 6 starts, Sejuani's ganking just takes off to a whole new level. We all know that. Go home, buy a Philosopher's Stone. So now that I have my 2 essential items, I'm going to go Magic Pen. Because, well, not a lot of people would agree. Well, first, let me show this part. So, Mumu is weak as fuck. He took his own blue using Smite, and I steal his red, use the experience from red to gain my ultimate, slow him, and just pretty much bash his brains in. Poor little Mumu brains. Right, so Mumu's dead. Anyways, there's one thing people can't seem to understand or agree. It's just out of ignorance. Sejuani actually has incredibly high damage. She actually has great initiation. Well, I mean, that everybody knows. Here I get ambushed. I try to escape. Like I miss my Q, so I just freeze a Mumu so he stops slowing me with the red buff. So, anyway, she's got high damage. That for some people just can't seem to agree on. Though I will vehemently defend the fact that she's got amazing damage. The problem with her is, of course, her horrible sustain, her crappy survivability, and even though she has high damage, she pretty much has very little means of actually dealing it. This has always been her issue, is where, regardless of having high damage, she just can't seem to do it. Here I go in, zero flashes over, easy ultimate, she's a goner. So, pinned down dead. Caitlyn stuck around too much, so she should just run off. Vayne goes into the engage. I just walk up to her, start slapping her around, use my W. She's gonna get killed by, well, I guess me. And yeah, double kill down bottom. Hooray for me. And yeah, I guess the Vayne just doesn't work. Anyways, if you haven't noticed yet, my team is pure women. Sorry about Sorcerer Boots, and I'm buying Haunting Guy, so my magic penetration is high, also with the masteries. Meaning, I'll pretty much do true damage to several of these characters. They haven't bought any magic resistance. So they dove bottom, killed the Soraka, in comes Syndra to clean house. Caitlyn and the enemy support easily were picked off. Anyways, as I was saying, Sejuani doesn't really have the means to deal damage, as in her gap closer is on a massively high cooldown. Her E is also in a kind of a unreasonable range, and it also can only be used on frosted characters, and the only way to freeze them is by hitting them with your ultimate or your Q or your auto attack, which is melee, and her W pretty much means she has to be sticking onto them, which in some cases isn't easy if they have crowd control or knockbacks or whatever. So again, high damage can't necessarily deal the damage consistently, so it's kind of put to waste. In certain team comps, like AoE team comps, she kind of actually gets to do really high damage because the enemy's, staying still for a while. but that's not necessarily any good. So we CC lock, cast it in, and once he uses his ultimate, I throw in my ultimate on him. I pick the kill. I was hoping to donate it, and Diana gets slaughtered. So here's one thing that I hope a lot of players do. So I noticed that we're gonna get caught up there. I mean, at least the Moon's gonna catch us. So I stand behind the Syndra in order to block a Q shot. Because if she got caught with a Q, she'd be killed. Well, I would probably have a high chance of surviving. And I have Flash just in case things got really dirty. So that's one thing. That's the job of a tank. So even if you have no mana, even if you don't have spells to do it, you could always use your body to block certain things. I don't see a lot of players do that, and I wish they kind of did. So Caitlyn tried to get her blue, and she ended up just donating it to me. No problem, Caitlyn. You're such a good friend. So once more, team fighting goes down mid. My ultimate is almost up. Oh, by the way, I should explain. The reason you go cooldown reduction blues is because either that or your quints. It's so you can maintain your W up as earlier. I mean, forever earlier. I mean, if you can maintain your W, you can basically treat it like Shyvana. Anyways, once the turret goes down, I quickly throw in my ultimate, and Zero just pretty much explodes. Easy kill. They didn't bother to re-engage on us. So yeah, I am pretty big for Sejuani. But even then, even with being big, I'll still be pretty easy to kill. Unless I buy tank items, which I will. In this case, Abyssal Scepter, because it increases my damage too. And they have, I don't know, Mumu and Cassidon. It's about magic damage galore right there. So, for as anticlimactic as this is, they just full on, short butts engage, and then they decide to surrender. Good, because we were kind of just kicking their asses, so.